Hi viewers, welcome once again to another political insight. And my name, as you all know, is Clement Christiana Munachimso of the DMItv. And today with me here is Barrister Dan Nwanyanwu of the Zenith Labour Party, the chairman himself, and the presidential candidate of the Zenith Labour Party in the just concluded presidential election. Today he's going to be giving us more insight of what we need to know and some of our questions concerning the just concluded election. Good afternoon, sir.
Thank you for having me.
I would like to take you back to the Coalition Center in ICC for the presidential election in Abuja, where you addressed the INEC chairman and the general public convincingly. So tell us, sir, why did you take such hard position?
Thank you for this question.
You're welcome.
You see, after the general election, particularly the presidential election, we had a lot of issues that came up from the election. Issue of beavers, non-transmission, issue of exclusion, issue of thuggery, and so on and so forth. And Nigerians were surprised and shocked with what was happening. So Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, which is a body covering all the political parties, met to consider the issues. And we came up with a position that let that process continue. Let us assemble our facts and evidence and then deal with it at the appropriate time and at the appropriate place. That was why I took the position I took. Above all, you see, we deal with intelligence. We have got to the point that we are losing our democracy. Most people were of the opinion that the election should be cancelled outrightly. And our intelligence did not support that. Earlier before the election, there have been some rumors, some comments of interim government, of this and that will be put in place. And the intelligence we had was not favorable if we did not act timeously on the situation. So that was why I took that position as regards the collation of the presidential election results. That is without prejudice to the fact that many things went wrong during the election. And in fact, in so many other elections, I talked about not pulling down the roof. We should not pull down Nigeria because of the election. Nigeria must exist first before we aspire to become anything. That is a fact. I talked about the gains, even from the same election, whereby certain persons who were placeholders are now going into the Senate, going to the House of Rep, where people whose names have been all over the place lost the election. I talked about even the governors who wanted to enter the Senate. They could not win the senatorial seat. A senatorial seat is 1/3 of the entire state. And this is a state you govern for 8 years and you are still in office. You could not win it. That came out from the election. I talked about Mrs. Ekunife. Mrs. Ekunife was somebody that has been working from day one as a senator in her senatorial zone, empowering people, building houses for widows all over the place. She's not coming back. She lost. And that was the same election. I talked about party chairmen, national party chairmen and officials that lost their polling units. That was also from the same election. There is an Okada rider coming into the House of Rep. Okada rider. He was put there as a placeholder. When if they had gotten another candidate without P2B going into the party, they would have replaced him. But now he's coming into the House of Representatives. It is the same election. It is the same process that produced all these people. So with the intelligence we have, Nigerians don't want interim government. Nigerians don't want change of government by unconstitutional means. So the only way to salvage this democracy was for the process to continue. Let us assemble our facts and show our claims in court or tribunal that we indeed won the election. You see, we cannot, as a people, go back to democracy now. Go back out of democracy. Democracy is the intent. And if you have too many people reasoning in different ways, then that will be a problem. If we won election in different states, because this same process I was talking about took place the same day that Lagos fell to a third force. So you can see there are gains in that election. So let us not throw away the gains with the low points during the election. All we have to do is let us take the gains and pursue the low moments, the low points that we saw during that election by taking it to the tribunal. That was why I said we cannot pull down this house. I was also a presidential candidate in the election. That is on record. And I'm talking this way. That means I wanted to take over from President Buhari. I prepared to take over from him as the next president of Nigeria. But I cannot pull down the roof because I want to be president. Ditto most other candidates. That does not mean that I'm supporting anybody. Let people not get it wrong. I rather, those that are saying I should have joined them one way or the other, should rather thank me and congratulate me for serving democracy on that day.
Thank you very much, sir.
Yeah.
You see, some young people expected your support for the cancellation of the election results due to the circumstances and the factors surrounding it. And also considering the fact that you are a very progressive person when we look back at your background. So why did you not take the position for the results cancellation?
You see, that takes me back to what I was saying. Yes, I'm a progressive person. I have been consistent. If you go back, I'm happy you say by my antecedent.
Background.
My background is labor. And I started this journey since 1979. I have always fought for the cheated, the hunted, the oppressed. Since 1979, I was in the bank. I started my trade union career. It is too late for me to change now. I will answer your question. When I was young, or when I was younger, like these young people you are talking about, I never believed that hot water can kill a tortoise because of the shell of the tortoise, because of its covering. I never believed that hot water can kill a tortoise. But with age, experience, and disposition, I have come to realize that hot water will kill a tortoise many times. Cancelling the result means bringing the whole thing to a halt. Let me take you now. Assuming the result was cancelled, the president comes, say yes, this result has to be cancelled. The youth will come back. This election will not be conducted by the same person. I'm just taking you to a small scenario.
Okay.
Some of the few intelligence. This result, this new election will not be conducted by the same person. A new person is appointed. He comes back a few days to tell you that I won't be ready until 6 months, until 1 year, and all that. Can you sustain this momentum? By that time, are you going to go on the streets? It will also take us back to losing democracy. People should think. We have to handle this democracy as we are now, as egg, as if you are handling an egg, so that it doesn't break. That is the journey. And since we have laid down processes You can see the INEC chairman is already reviewing some results. Some INEC officials has been sent on suspension, some rec. He has reversed the results. And we are trying to support him now to be too fast in taking those decisions, because the Electoral Act has given him the powers to review those situations we had and even reverse the position or decision of INEC. That is what we expect that he should do. And that is very critical. But not for us to cancel the whole election, truncate it, because we want something to be done. Are we going to also cancel it with the House of Rep and Senators? It's the same election. But I want to say, Professor Mahmoud was betrayed. He was thoroughly betrayed by his colleague professors he sent to the States. If you listen to the position on Thursday, Wednesday last week after their meeting, when he warned them and took a position on what they did,
yeah,
it cannot be better than betrayal. And I had that information the day I addressed INEC at ICC Collection Center, when I referred to when Jesus Christ was here as a human, that he was betrayed by one person out of 12. That was the point I was making. And it has confirmed my intelligence. He was thoroughly betrayed. Why he did not, and it was too late in the day for him to realize it, or for him to take action. You see, you will say, why didn't he do this? He will also take that position that the roof should not be pulled down. And the INEC officials who did all they did outside, the results, people are collecting their results. And you can see from what is being collected is different.
Yes.
And I believe in the judicial system. I gave example when I was the national chairman of this Labour Party. I won Ondo State, our party, and partially Edo State. And they took it. They could not announce the results in Benin and Ondo. They came to Abuja to announce the results because the citizens in the state would not take any such thing different from what they did. They came here to announce the results. We didn't pull down the country. We didn't pull down Ondo State and Edo State. Rather, we went to the tribunal. We won at the tribunal, headed by Nabrume, Justice Nabrume of blessed memory, and Justice Abdullahi at the Court of Appeal, three of them, Augie and one other person. We won. And Mimiko got his mandate back. Governor Mimiko got his mandate back, ruled the state for 8 years. Ditto Adams Oshiomhole. You can see my confidence in the judiciary. That's why I say, let us go. And how did you achieve it? We collected all results from the polling units. Election is won and lost at the polling units. Even with all this noise they're making, once you have the result at the polling unit, word by word, no courts, no matter how influenced they are, will say no, these are not the results. So that is what is key.
You seem to have a lot of confidence in the court, but most Nigerians are very skeptical about getting justice in the courts, particularly on this election saga. What do you have to say about this, sir?
Why would I have confidence in the courts? I've given an example of a process we took in 2007 and we got justice in 2009. Governor Mimiko, Governor Adams Oshiomhole, they're all living witnesses. Why would I have confidence in the court? I'm a lawyer of decades of experience. No matter how bad the judiciary is in the eyes of the public, judiciary is the last hope of the common man. When judiciary loses that, what you're inviting is anarchy. A state where anybody will do what he likes. And we are not praying for that. let us take our grievances to the tribunal with facts and evidence. It's not just papa on the street. If you said you won here, this is the result. We were all given the result sheets from ECA. Put them together word by word. Particularly in those areas you think you won. You don't have to do it across the country. I heard of what happened in different places. Go there and get the results. Maybe by the time you add it, if you are correct, it may give you victory. So I have confidence in the judiciary. And I do not see any judge, no matter who has appointed him, that will see those facts and the evidence and do otherwise. I have confidence in the judiciary.
What is your insight or your input on the activities of the young people? Do you think they're having more influence and impact in democracy lately?
Honestly, I must thank the young people of this country. How they have come out from their cocoon where they have been hiding, living democracy for those that have turned it into a business. I have to thank the young people because now they have brought something new into democracy. What is that thing new? That it is no longer Uhuru. You cannot just be elected and you think you can do what you like. They have their eyes on everybody. And this we have been preaching for over 10-15 years. Telling those in office that look, what we are doing will come to an end one day, someday. And we are close to that end. We have preached it. At times they called us bad losers. Because the young people, they can decide everything. Once democracy is one man, one vote. Nobody should disturb them. Nobody should attack them. Because it is their future that has been toiled with over time. They have just realized that they have the power to put whoever will protect their interests. The young people have done this without a meeting. They have done this without a town hall. They have done this without consultation. Which means their minds added them from the onset that something is wrong with the system. I said a similar thing in the National Conference of 2014 when I talked to the delegates that we should work towards rebuilding this country because those coming behind us will not be as patient as we are. It is on record. That was when we were responding to President Jonathan's inaugural speech. Everybody spoke. That was my concluding part. That those coming behind us will not be as patient as we are. So the summary of the whole thing is that young people should not be disillusioned. They should not be disappointed because there will be light at the end of the tunnel. They should forget about, they should eschew tribalism, religious bigotry. Even when their parents are preaching so, most of them are educated. They have seen that the issue of religion and tribe doesn't solve these problems. It is when a man is in office, he has nothing to offer. He resorts to religion and tribe to get support from his people. If you want to engage me intellectually. If you think my position is wrong, sit with me and bring up your own position. Don't go about writing and attacking. Give me an alternative. Just as I've given you an alternative to cancelling the election. It will protect our democracy, and it has protected our democracy. If we are cancelled the election, probably there won't be opportunity for those who are aggrieved to go through the process to recover their mandate. So what I did in International Conference Center, I paved the way for the opportunity to come for you to go and reclaim what you believed is yours. So You see, there is what we call, where I come from, I don't know the name in English. That's what we call Apa and Ada. They look alike. One of them is edible. Okay. One is not. They look alike in all material particular. But there is something that the old people use to differentiate the two. Why the old people are at home is not to allow the young people eat the one that is poisonous rather than eating the one that you can have. And that is why we are there with experience. Our experience, I have told you when I started, 1979. It's not today. I may not have held any position in Nigeria, per se. But God has given us the wisdom to know certain things before they happen, to intervene, and to lead the society well. Let me commend the young people for going out en masse for the first time to register, picking their PVC, going to vote, has shown that they have a voice. They can get things done. They can change things. Don't listen to anybody. But don't be violent. Let's follow it in a way that is allowed by law. So for that, I give you kudos. Don't be disappointed. Don't be disillusioned. The journey we are going is not 100 meters dash. It is a long distance race. But at the end of the day, the young people will have their way. That is my advice and my position.
Thank you so much for acknowledging and actually seeing our efforts. I, for one, actually went out to vote. That's good. I did. I got my PVC, I voted, and by God's grace, we'll get there. So viewers, young people out there, I want to encourage you all to just maintain your peace. Let's try as much as possible to work on unity, because when we are united, it's going to be very difficult for us to fall. So let's continue maintaining the peace, let's avoid violence, and let's allow the courts and the justice take its course. Once again, my name is Clement Christiana Munachimso, and with me here is Barrister Dan Nwanyanwu of the Zenith Labour Party, and also the presidential candidate of the Zenith Labour Party in the just concluded election. Thank you so much for having us.
Thank you for having me.
You're welcome.
You're always welcome.
Thank you, sir.